Patriots fans, take a deep breath. Today, there's thick smoke over Foxborough. A quiet move on our offensive line could unlock an unexpected trade. Behind-the-scenes signals say the hunt for answers just got serious. And there's more. A wild stat from our quarterback changes the mood heading into prime time, while an explosive NFC target is back on the radar and could become the biggest game changer of the year. Which piece would you prioritize to flip the season? You won't believe what we've got today. So take a seat, drop a like, and let's dive straight into the news. First, let me pull on a thread the front office has been tugging since the preseason: the tackle market. Internal signals, quiet phone calls, and tape that's been gnawing at the staff suggest something big could be brewing. A left tackle in the NFC North has lost ground, seen his snap share dip, and turned into a trade piece. In Chicago, the staff is weighing a change after the bye, lighting up the radar for teams starving for protection. What does that have to do with us? Everything. Because the rotation behind rookie Will Campbell and veteran Morgan Moses still needs a reliable fourth name, and the most recent moves scream that the Patriots are actively hunting along the OL. Yes, we're talking about Braxton Jones, the Bears' LT. A multi-year starter, he offers at minimum real depth as a swing tackle. At best, legit competition on the blind side if the staff believes his form can be restored. Financially, it's ideal, rookie deal, controllable, 2025 cap hit around $3.73 million. And the Foxborough breadcrumbs point straight to need. Last week, the Patriots lost an OT off the practice squad to the Browns 53 and responded by rebuilding numbers, adding Sebastian Gutierrez and Andrew Rupcich to the PS. That's the picture of a front office turning over every stone to protect the QB and stabilize the left side. On Chicago's end, context explains the spark. With Theo Benedette and rookie Ozzie Trapilo pushing for reps, Jones's margin has shrunk. Local reports cite uneven play and a potential post-bye rotation. Even so, he opened the year projected as LT1, evidence of how the league sees the talent. And the price today? Think late day 3, a 6th or 7th may be conditional on snaps, or a small player plus late pick swap. That's the low-risk, medium-upside profile New England has favored. There are obstacles that matter. Medicals, the last few weeks of tape, and whether hand placement, anchor, and set angles are quickly fixable will determine if he's more than just depth. There's also the Bears' plan. If Bennett wobbles or protection stays solid, Chicago might hold him for security. To date, there's no public report of direct Patriots-Bears talks, but national analysts have floated Jones in trade scenarios since the preseason, hinting Chicago is listening at the right price and keeping the door cracked. The clock adds drama, and every week counts. The trade deadline is November 4 at 4 p.m. ET. By then, this could move from warm to hot if the cost slips into a simple conditional. Would you pay a conditional 6th for a true LT with real NFL snaps who lowers blindside risk for our QB and opens the playbook? The fan base is split. One side wants immediate aggression. The other wants to hold capital for a perimeter weapon if one shakes loose. I look at the whole picture and see a clean fit, a floor that rises right away, and a ceiling that climbs with coaching. If the number is right, it makes sense. And that's not even the most surprising part of the day, because the movement behind the scenes delivered more important clues. While the smoke out of Chicago stirs trade talk, the chessboard in Foxborough shifted with less flashy pieces, moves that say a lot about the front office's mindset. Two names arrived quietly on the practice squad: Sebastian Gutierrez and Andrew Rupcich. If you think that's a throwaway note, think again. Every signing, every release, signals where the staff sees soft spots and which positions could wobble in the near term. Here, the message is obvious: reinforce the roster's most vulnerable sector. Gutierrez, 27, is an NFL nomad. Denver, Las Vegas, Kansas City, Cleveland, San Francisco, Indianapolis, and a brief past stop in New England. The resume impresses more for the stamps than for continuity on the field. Still, the fact he's back in Foxborough shows the staff sees him as functional depth, someone familiar with the building who can be plugged in during emergencies. Not a star, but immediate depth. Rupcich brings a different flavor. A Culver Stockton NAIA product with that classic underdog aura fans love. He's 6'6", 325, made it with the Titans, played in 12 games with 2 starts, then hit injured reserve. More intriguing, he overlapped with Mike Vrabel. That connection is never an accident. When a head coach vouches for someone he's seen up close, it's because he trusts personality and work traits that don't show in a box score. If Vrabel signed off, he believes Rupcich can produce in the right system. To make room, Jack Conley and Fabian Lovett were released. Conley, the 6'7", 3-3 pounder from Boston College, was a local swing bet guard, right tackle. Even an eligible tight end look, but versatility couldn't beat the numbers crunch. Lovett, a DT out of Mississippi State and Florida State, arrived after a year on the Chiefs practice squad and a futures deal, but also hit a squeeze. Cold moves, sure, but they reveal a pattern. The current preference is to shore up protection for the QB before anything else. That's the central point. When the front office adds 2 linemen and lets go of a guard and a DT, it's spelling out its focus: protect Drake Maye, create a cleaner platform for the passing game, and shrink risk in the unit that causes the most concern. These aren't national headline moves, but they set the season's background texture. Championships aren't won solely with the top 53. They're secured with the depth built in the shadows. Fans might shrug, practice squad, so what? But every contract at this level is a brick in a wall that must be solid when the inevitable hits: injuries, suspensions, dips in form. You can already see the front office prepping the ground, testing parts, replenishing numbers. It looks simple, but this is exactly the attention to detail that can save a critical drive in December. And if you thought that was busy, hold up. The week's real spark isn't on the practice squad. It's in the arm that's become the beacon of a new era in Foxborough. Now it's time to talk about something that hits the fan base right in the heart. As important as practice squad tweaks and OL chatter are, what's igniting Foxborough right now has a name: Drake Maye. The kid, some still labeled a question mark, is showing week by week that he doesn't just have the potential to be that guy, he already is. And it's changing the way the rest of the league views the Patriots. Here's the scene. The team opened with highs and lows, special teams slips, lost runs, even the defense wobbled. In the middle of it, Maye stood firm. He's already cracked a top 10 in passing yards, closing in on 1,000 in just a month of football. He's ahead of names you always expect to see up there, like Josh Allen, who's just 24 yards behind him. That kind of detail turns the temperature up before Sunday Night Football. And it isn't empty volume. Against the Panthers, Maye delivered a clinic: 14 of 17, 3 touchdowns, decisive command, calm reads, like a veteran. For many analysts, that was the stamp that the Patriots didn't just pick the right guy. They might have found the new face of the franchise. A quarterback who brings hope after a grueling transition since Brady. It gets even juicier. Guess who he faces now in prime time, in front of the loudest crowd in the AFC East? Josh Allen. The same Allen he just edged in raw yardage. The comp that's followed Maye since college: mobility, arm talent, aggressive style. They even built a relationship in the offseason. This is more than a game. It's the prologue to a generational rivalry inside the division. The fan base is buzzing. Some are already saying Maye can grab the AFC East keys from the Bills. Others preach caution, experience matters, and Allen is a monster in big spots. But come on, that 24-yard gap between them, it's cinematic fuel. The chance to watch the rookie prove live in front of the whole country that he can not only compete but win, that hits every fan square in the chest. One detail we can't ignore: with the offensive line in flux and reinforcement rumors humming, everything the franchise is doing right now revolves around a single mission: protect the future. The more time Maye gets in the pocket, the more we'll see bombs like that Panthers barrage. More confidence, more chemistry with the receivers, more fire to scorch the division. So let me ask you, are you ready to see Sunday night turn into a passing of the torch stage? Are we about to witness the first symbolic win of a new era, Maye asserting himself against the division rival? Because if it happens, it won't be just another October game. It'll be the spark that rekindles the dynasty flame. And hold that thought, because the next chapter brings a rumor that tugs even harder on the fan base's heartstrings. An explosive target could be on the verge of wearing the flying Elvis. If the Drake Maye news had your heart racing, what's coming now might blow your mind. Because if there's one name that hits a nerve for Patriots fans since the 2019 draft, it's A.J. Brown. Yes, the wideout Bill Belichick passed on to pick N'Keal Harry. That wound has stayed open for years. But believe it, league winds are howling, and some say fate might finally offer Foxborough a second chance. The plot reads like a series script. Even with a Super Bowl ring, Brown hasn't hidden his frustration. Usage questions, fewer targets than he wants, behind-the-scenes tension. In 2024, those cracks were already visible. In 2025, they've rolled back in like a storm front. With each comment, trade speculation grows. And when serious insiders start linking New England to his name, it stops being purely fan fiction. Picture the impact. Drake Maye posting top 10 numbers with poise beyond his years. Stephon Diggs reigniting the fire and proving he's still devastating. Kayshon Boutte rising from promise to near WR1 status. Now drop A.J. Brown into that mix. You're talking about turning this offense into a nightmare for any secondary. It would be the best receiver room New England has fielded since the Brady days. For Maye, it would be a developmental rocket booster towards superstardom. What's the cost? Projections say 2 second-rounders could do it. Pricey, sure, but not prohibitive for a team that banked a tattle for exactly this kind of moment. Be honest, how often does a front office get this close to correcting a historic miss and changing an entire roster's trajectory at the same time? It's the kind of all-in that strengthens the team on the field, energizes the fan base, sends a message to the division, and restores that aggressive Patriots aura. Fans are split, riding that cocktail of euphoria and skepticism. Plenty are pleading, don't miss Bring Brown now. Others worry it could be another mirage like Hendrickson or McLaurin. The difference this time, the player himself seems ready to lean on the door. When the athlete's will aligns with a front office armed with cap room and picks, the math changes. Now imagine Brown's debut in number 11 at a packed Gillette, hauling in a Maye moonshot against a division rival. The psychological jolt would match the tactical upgrade. It would say, loud and clear, the team is back to chase titles, not just wins. That's why this rumor grows louder by the day. It isn't hollow chatter, it's a real pathway to a present that rewrites the future. And you pictured Diggs on one side, Brown on the other, Butte in the slot, with Maye orchestrating the whole show. Hold that image, because if the front office has the courage, 2025 could be the year the dynasty finds new fuel. Tell me, would you ship 2 seconds to finally correct 2019 and put Brown in red, white, and blue? If you step back from everything we covered today, the picture is clear. The Patriots are tightening protection, reinforcing the foundation, and setting the stage for Drake Maye to lead something big. A move for a LT like Braxton Jones lowers immediate risk. Gutierrez and Rupcich raise the backline, and the A.J. Brown rumor ignites ambition. Now it all comes down to execution. Which bet would you make? Bargain protection, a heavy investment in an elite target, or trusting internal growth? Drop your take in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Tomorrow, the conversation continues with you.